Hello friends, welcome to the shed. I am Chevee, you are not, and therefore we're doing question and answer today. So you can ask me questions and get into the mind of Chevee and learn a little bit more about me. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I just thought it was time to do it again because we've had so many new viewers and I had really good participation the last couple weeks with me asking you in advance about topics, and people on my Facebook and my Twitter have been really responsive to all the questions that I've asked, and so I wanted to keep it rolling, keep the conversation going, because ultimately that's really what I want to do here, is have a conversation, and you guys give me the ability to do that. So I've got a bunch of questions lined up. I'm just going to kind of burn through these, and then we'll see where this goes, and yeah. So it's Friday. This used to be what I did, in case you weren't around. Back in the beginning of the show, I wanted to try and do 4 days of solid content and then have like a fifth day kind of like as an off day where you got to tell me what to do. And it's always been that's always been my goal of this show, is a community-driven show where you end up kind of being the associate producers. So, yeah. So I used to do this every Friday. Let's see. I've got a bunch of questions from Dunga. Dunga is he's Dutch, and he's a good friend, and I've never met him, but he asked a lot of questions here. So let's just burn through these. Are you pregnant? No, I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant, but thanks. Am I showing? Is it that bad? How to get and or stay motivated. God, that is like if I could give you that answer, I'm pretty sure I could go on tour and be a gazillionaire. You have to find whatever it is that makes you passionate and go for it and do it. For me, my motivation personally is it's not money. I don't get motivated for money. I get motivated for relationships and connections. And that's why I do this show, is because I enjoy meeting new people. Meeting new people is like one of my favorite things to do. So for me, motivation to continue doing this, even though, let's be honest, I've changed the format in the last 2 weeks and my numbers have taken this huge nosedive. Like, my videos are getting 30 views now. Nobody's watching this. And that's okay. That's fine, because this is the kind of show that I want, and if I put my energy into it, then it'll grow again, and I'll be back, to the 100 plus views, which is where I feel comfortable anyway. I don't really want to have millions of views, because then I'm not going to be able to have meaningful conversation. So for me, the motivation is it's just making connections, and like this, like you, Dunga, in the Netherlands. Dunga says, does jerking it with your other hand really feel as if a stranger is grabbing the bull by the horns? No, it just feels like sadness and awkward, unless I'm ambidextrous. So, not in just that, like in everything. So it doesn't. Is that last question suited for your show? No, it's not. A little inappropriate. But I answered it anyway, because that's what we do here. This is our show. This isn't my show. This is our show. And if the community wants the show to be more lewd, well, we can do that. I don't have a problem with it. I prefer to keep it family friendly, though. Okay, Tom K4. Tom asks, if you could resurrect any franchise, what would be your IP of choice? I don't know how to take that question. I'm going to answer this question as if I could see new content for any franchise. That would be Indiana Jones, by far. I'm hoping that Disney will treat the Indiana Jones franchise similarly to the way they've treated Star Wars franchise. I want to see cartoons and, But is that franchise dead? Yeah, basically. I mean, we're going to pretend like the fourth movie didn't happen. Scott Hanch asked, how does the Penguins goalie situation play out? This is a toughie. Both goalies deserve to be in net. You can't bench either one. They're both so, they both have extreme highs, and then they take these nosedives. So I think, I think a 2-goalie situation is not a bad option as long as both of them can communicate and not battle against each other trying to get more games. Like, I need more games than him and whatever. If they can come together and one says, hey, dude, I'm having an off day today. Why don't you take net tonight? Then great. Unfortunately, I don't see the Penguins doing that, and I see them canning Fleury and putting Murray in full time, just because they can save some salary cap money by dumping Fleury. Sean Howard asked, if you could reinvent a classic Americana-style board game with new mechanics and a fresh take, what is it? What would you change, and would you go mass market or settle for a niche audience? Classic Americana game. Man, it wouldn't be any of the big box games. It wouldn't be Monopoly or Scrabble or any of that stuff. Risk. I mean, those things have all... People have tried to update and modernize those games, and it doesn't really work. I think it would have to be... Dang. That's a tough one, man. I think I would have to take something like euchre or cribbage and put a spin on it. And that's been done a dozen different ways from Sunday. But I've been really working hard lately. The game that I've been working on that I kind of showed here a little while ago, the idea, it's not a new idea in a sense that I'm not trying to invent a whole new gaming style. I'm basically borrowed a scoring system and slapped some mechanics on it. But the goal is to make a thematic game out of an inherently non-thematic mechanic. And I think that could there's still room for that in things like cribbage. The Mystery Army series is a good example of that. If you've ever played the Jack the Ripper, which is my favorite of the Mystery Army, it feels thematic. Like, it actually adds theme to the game, which is it's kind of strange because Rummy is just completely non-thematic. But I wouldn't take one of the normals. I wouldn't take chess or anything like that. That's just been done to death. If I was to take a classic American game and redo it, Sid Saxon, designer of Acquire and just hundreds of other games. Acquire is my favorite game ever. He did a card game version of that game called Venture, and it's actually really, really good. I would like to redo it, but leave it the same. So, I don't know if that's the answer that you wanted, but that's the answer that I have. Those are your questions. Thank you for asking those questions, everybody. I really appreciate it. I said earlier that the show has taken a nosedive this week, and it really has. And I'm not sure why. I would love to hear from you why. Use the comment section. I changed the format up last week because I thought it would be better for the show. This is the 180th episode, and I changed the format up because I thought it'd be better. And to me, it has been better. To me, the production value has been way better. Preemptively setting the shows in motion, getting your questions before I turn the camera on, or getting your input before I turn the camera on, doing the pre-production research to actually sit down and have an intelligent discussion, and then, yeah. So I thought that what I was doing was better, but the numbers are like down, and I don't know if it's because it's the holidays, maybe. I'm such a tiny little channel. When I only have like maybe 50 active viewers. So if 5 of you take a week off, that's 10% of my viewing, right? Currently, I'm seeing like half of my viewing and very little engagement here on YouTube. But I'm getting a lot of engagement on Twitter and Facebook. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Please tell me. I would love to know. If you don't have a YouTube account and you can't log in and leave a comment, please email me, chevee@thedailyshed.com. And let me know what's going on. Do you hate the new content? Do you like the new content? What can I do to get you to hit the share button and share my content with your friends, other than begging you every single episode? When I started out this year, I had just over 10,000 subscribers that I had basically gotten for free because of one video over the last 4 years, and my goal was to close the year out at 25,000 subscribers. I thought that gaining 15,000 in a year was possible. I'm gonna sneeze. With active content. No, I'm nowhere near that number. It's not going to happen, but I would love to see. I think we could still do 15,000. We're like 800 away. We're less than 1,000 away from 15,000 subscribers. I think we could do it if you would all take the time to share my content and ask your friends to support the show. So please do that. Just for no other reason than we can say we did it, right? I love sitting here every day and talking to you. So I would love to have the opportunity to talk to more people. I'm still trying to figure out how to make that happen. So please, use the comment section. Use my email. Use the phone line, 304-602-7433. And just let me know what's going on. Let me know if you like what I'm doing, if you hate what I'm doing, and how you would fix it. Because I would love to see the numbers go back on the rise. That would make me happy. So thank you all for being here as always. Thank you for your engagement this week. I can't wait to see what next week brings. On the calendar, thedailyshed.com, you can see the calendar of future episodes and see what's coming up and whether you would like to submit some comments or whatever it might be. So thank you for being here. I will see you on Monday.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from wikipedia.org. Is gray a color? Gray is an intermediate color between black and white. It is a neutral or achromatic color, meaning literally that is a color without color. It is the color of a cloud-covered sky of ash of lead.